Sometimes when you grow up in a place this beautiful, with a great community, with such a aloha spirit, you take it for granted until you leave. The sense of community is probably the thing that I love the most about living here. I would never live anywhere else. My name is Raquel Gus, and I am born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. I have been here majority of my life, yet I did go away for about 15 years and returned in the last 3. I think I didn't appreciate what Hawaii had to give until I left. Many people, and I will say including myself, were always told that, get educated and then go away. And so what happens though is we go away, we get an opportunity to live life and have so much more exposure, but many of my peers and my friends have decided not to move home. There's tons of curriculum out there to help someone become a manager or a supervisor, but it goes back to how do we create leaders in our community so that they can feel the confidence and strength to be able to give back. I love doing hard things. That's the reason I did the pentathlon. I've always been addicted to the sense of how can I find and become the best version of myself. And so I was drawn to the pentathlon because I believed that, one, it brought together some of the things that I love, which is athletics, and trying to do something that I've never done before. But then there's also the sense of community of, I lived here for so many years and I never saw the island in that way. I think the pentathlon brings together the sense of community. Obviously it's a sense of, pushing yourself to a limit, but it helps you be very present to the island that we live on and be grateful for what it gives us on a day-to-day basis. Every time I had went out to practice the paddle, my boat either sunk, I had to get rescued. I raced canoes growing up. I'm actually pretty versed in the water. I can read waves, I can understand what's going on. There is an essence to the unpredictability of the ocean, and you have to be able to read what the water is doing at all times. There's just so much variability and unpredictability that goes on with the kayak. And about 8 miles in, I looked at my kayak and half of my kayak was in the water, like under the water. I turned around and that's when I flipped out and I was like, okay, so all of my stuff went everywhere. I had lost all my gear. I grabbed my cell phone and luckily it was attached to the boat. Then there was this other guy who had come up, and he was actually on a team. He was not doing this as an individual. He came up and he stopped and he was like, I will wait with you, which is like such a community thing. This is arguably a race, but at the same time, it's like, how do I take care of the people around me, even people that I don't know? And so he sat there and waited, because I wanted to finish, right, more than anything. I did the kayak to the best of my ability at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not safe, but it's not safe. You're risking your own safety by being out there. Even thinking forward into, the next pentathlon, or for even people who decide to do this, it's like how you have to have a plan of action when things go wrong, because to some extent they will go wrong. Nothing is perfect, and it's a beautiful metaphor for life. And I think everyone wants ideally to do this race, but you have to work within your limits of maybe even what you've been willing to train for. It was definitely a great experience. I don't think I appreciated really what happened during the kayak until I was actually completely done with the pentathlon, because you can't dwell on things that happen. At the end of the day, it's a really cool adventure, but one you definitely need to be prepared for. As we've always said, Hawaii is a melting pot of culture, and this race just gives you that opportunity to see this island in that way. It was about community, being together, supporting each other, cheering each other on, while also being part of the community. And all you have to do is find something in your wheelhouse to be a part of this. If you're a good runner, go run. If you love swimming, go swim. If you just so happen to be a decent biker, then raise your hand for the bike. Everyone can come together and do this race. It's not for the most elite athletes. It is for everyone. If you all pitch in and support each other, it's attainable to do together as a community.